Welcome back, assistant physical scientists. You've made it to the final challenge in the Hall of Forces, and it's the kind of challenge that real engineers solve every day. How can we use our knowledge of forces to design a car that protects passengers during a crash? As part of this lesson, you'll take on a real engineering challenge, designing a capsule to protect an egg during a crash. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to use Newton's laws to solve problems and complete an engineering challenge, assess the effectiveness of your solution, and make improvements. In the same way engineers design cars to protect passengers, you'll use Newton's laws to keep your passenger egg safe. Are you up for the challenge? Let's discover how Newton's laws of motion help engineers save lives. Let's start with Newton's first law of motion. Do you remember what it is? Newton's first law of motion says that an object will stay still or keep moving in a straight line unless a force makes it change. That tendency to keep doing what an object is already doing, whether staying still or moving, is called inertia. Let's see what happens when inertia kicks in during a car crash. When the car crashes, the people inside keep moving forward, even though the car has stopped. That's because of inertia. They stay in motion until something stops them, and in a real crash, that could be the dashboard or windshield. That's Newton's first law in action. An object in motion stays in motion unless a force stops it. So how do engineers stop that from happening? They design safety features that apply the stopping force gently to protect passengers from the effects of inertia. 3 of these safety features are seatbelts, airbags, and headrests. How do these features help keep passengers safe? Think in terms of Newton's first law. Pause the video and jot down your thoughts. Let's watch the crash test again. This time with seatbelts and airbags added. Seatbelts are designed to apply a stopping force safely by holding the passenger's body in place during a crash. Airbags provide a cushion that spreads the force across more of the body, helping reduce injury to areas the seatbelt doesn't protect, like the head, arms, or legs. Together, these features reduce the risk of serious injury because they apply the stopping force gradually, not all at once. Passengers don't just stop because the car does. Only a force like a seatbelt or an airbag can stop them safely. Engineers build those safety features with Newton's first law in mind. Now that we've seen how engineers use Newton's first law to design safety features like seatbelts and airbags, let's look at another law that helps them understand how much force is at play in a crash. Newton's second law says that the amount of force needed to push an object depends on the object's mass and acceleration. We can use the formula force equals mass times acceleration, or F equals ma, to represent Newton's second law. As a reminder, acceleration is how quickly something speeds up, slows down, or changes direction. How do you think knowing the relationship between force, mass, and acceleration could help engineers design a safe car? Pause the video and jot down your thoughts. If we know the car's mass and how quickly it accelerates, we can calculate how much force it needs to accelerate. Then, we can use this force to give us an idea of how hard it will hit an object during an accident. A small car has a mass of about 1,000 kilograms and can accelerate at 4 meters per second squared. How much force does the car need to accelerate at that rate? Pause the video and jot down your thoughts. If we put the mass and acceleration into our formula, we can see that the car would need 4,000 newtons of force to accelerate at 4 meters per second squared. Remember that Newton is the unit we use to measure force. It tells us how strong a push or pull is. What would happen if the car were twice as heavy or accelerated twice as quickly? The required force would be doubled as well. Engineers who design cars can look at forces more closely than we did in this example. They can determine what parts of the car will experience the most force and use that knowledge to design parts of the car that can absorb or redirect its energy. That's Newton's second law in action. More force means greater risk of injury, so engineers build features like crumple zones, parts of the car that collapse on purpose to slow the crash down and reduce the force passengers feel. Take a look at these cars that were used in a crash test. What do you notice about the cars? Pay attention to what parts are damaged and what parts still look okay. You'll notice that in each of these cases, the front of the car has been totally crushed, but the inside, where the passengers would be, looks almost untouched. That's not a mistake, that's smart design. The front of the car is designed to crumple and absorb most of the crash force, while the frame stays strong to protect the people inside. Engineers calculate how much force a crash will create, then design parts like crumple zones and airbags to take that force, so it doesn't reach the passengers. We've seen how knowing the amount of force involved helps engineers design car features like crumple zones, but there's one more law engineers always keep in mind, especially when it comes to the impact of a crash. Let's talk about Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion tells us that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. According to Newton's third law, if our car hits a wall with a force of 4,000 newtons, the wall will push back with 4,000 newtons. That force doesn't just disappear, it goes into the car. If the car can't absorb or redirect that force, it goes into the people inside. That's a big problem. It takes about 4,000 newtons of force to break a human leg bone. That's the strongest bone in your body. To give you an idea of how much force that is, it's like dropping a 900-pound box on your foot. That's how powerful the reaction force can be in a crash. We want the car to absorb most of the reaction force, not the people inside. That's why engineers test different materials and combine them in smart ways to reduce the amount of force that reaches the passengers. This is Newton's third law in action. Whatever the car hits, it hits back with equal force. Engineers design cars to take the hit so the people inside don't have to. Engineers don't just design cars. They also design helmets, sports pads, roller coasters, and even space capsules to protect people from powerful forces. No matter the situation, the goal is the same: absorb or redirect the force so the person stays safe. You've seen how Newton's laws help engineers design safer cars, and how they use all three laws together to protect the people inside. Now, it's your turn to be the engineer. This time, your passenger is an egg, and the car is whatever capsule you design to keep it safe during a crash. Just like real engineers, you'll need to think about inertia, impact force, and equal and opposite reactions. Using what you've learned, you'll create a capsule that protects the egg when it's dropped, just like a well-designed car protects its passengers in a crash. In this video, you learned how engineers protect people from dangerous forces during a collision. How can you use those same strategies to protect your egg? Newton's first law tells us the egg will keep moving until something stops it. How will you protect the egg from the effects of inertia when it hits the ground? Will you use something like a seatbelt or an airbag, or both? Newton's second law tells us that more mass or acceleration means more force. So how will you reduce the force of the impact on the egg? Will you design crumple zones on your capsule? How will you decide which materials will reduce or absorb the force the best? Newton's third law tells us that when the egg hits the ground pushes back with equal force. How will your capsule deal with that force? Will it soak up the impact or spread it out so the force doesn't hit the egg all at once? Will you focus more on choosing materials that absorb the force or building a sturdy frame to protect the egg? Are you already starting to get some ideas? Take a moment and jot down some of your ideas in your notes. You can apply everything you've learned today to design your capsule and make it your own. You could try using things like bubble wrap, cotton balls, or even foam. Just like real engineers test different materials to see which ones keep passengers the safest. Once you've built your capsule, try it out. See what works and what doesn't. Can your egg survive the drop? If not, don't worry. That's part of the process. Real engineers test, adjust, and try again to make their designs better and better. I'm excited to see what you come up with. Great work, assistant physical scientist. Let's review what we've discovered. Engineers and scientists need to be familiar with Newton's laws of motion to solve problems involving forces. You use Newton's laws to solve real-world problems and prepare for a real engineering challenge. Be sure to complete the additional activities and online practice included with this lesson. In our next unit, we'll head to the Observatory of Motion to learn about motion and speed. And remember, assistant physical scientists, the world is full of mysteries. Stay curious, keep exploring, and unlock the wonders around you. See you next time at the Institute of Physical Phenomena. Hey.